Hi art friends! It's finally Inktober again, and I wasn't intending on taking part this year, but I drew an entry the other day and we're filming a video today, so I'll see how many days I end up doing. I've had a really exciting delivery in the post. I'll be back in a second.
What are you getting?
I haven't even opened this yet. Let me just hide my
address. Is this a live unboxing, honey? Oh my gosh.
I hope it's what I think it is, otherwise I'll be really gutted.
It's like a pair of pants.
It might just be like candy. What is this? Oh no, it is. It's what I wanted it to be.
Okay, cool.
I got myself a new dip pen set again.
Oh, are those the Manuscript ones?
Yeah, this was like my favourite ever dip pen set, and I lost it for a very long time.
Are you going to use that in today's video, hun?
Yeah, I'm excited to, and I want to use the little pot of like Indian ink. I've been sketching like an idea out earlier on, so I can focus solely on the inking today.
Oh, and this
kind of video.
This is a very Steph-centric video. This is all about her, and I'm very excited.
Me too. Just to give you guys a quick recap, this is what I did for Inktober yesterday. Might have to like get a little close up at that because it's a tiny doodle on this sketchbook page. And now this is going to be the sketch that I'm working with today. So let's open up this.
I haven't seen this set in forever.
It was like my favourite one and I used it so much, I must have put it somewhere.
You used it so much you lost it.
It vanished.
If you're stuck, I can help you, dear.
I'll be so cross if I finally got like this ink set again and it doesn't fit.
No, we will persevere.
We will make it fit.
For Inktober, we will make it work.
So I've got my Indian ink over here, it's Winsor Newton. It's got like a big spider thing on the label, which is kind of fitting for Halloween.
Yeah. You guys would have seen that in our Inktober Ideas and Essentials video. Be sure to check that out if you haven't, because I really like how that one came out.
You can tell it's been a while since this has been opened, because the...
Is it going to be sealed shut?
No, it's going, it's just a bit gloopy.
Oh, I'm so excited. It's literally been forever since I've seen you use these. I'm so excited.
I'll do some like little tests over here. Did you think I was going to say swatches?
Yeah, I was going to say, it's ink. How can you swatch the ink? And don't you guys go correcting me about swatching ink. I know you will.
Right.
It's the moment of truth.
So the inspiration behind this idea that I'm working on is that last night at like 3 AM I thought it was a good idea to finish up a book about ghost stories, and I ended up scaring myself so much that I wouldn't go to bed by myself and Adam had to come with me.
Like, okay, real talk just for a second. How come, right, you like broad fine liners, but you like the thinnest, scratchiest nib on these in the world? How do you explain that to me?
I like that when you push down you can get like a thicker line with it. There's nice control with it.
Control? Have you seen how many nibs are in this thing?
God, it's been a long time since I've used these, so I am a bit rusty.
I think it's looking great so far. I love the beret. I mean, look how thin that can go, like at the top of the glasses. I still think, like, you know, like all these new and fancy art supplies and stuff that come out like these days, like nibs and stuff are so old, and yet you still get so much control out of something that's so old. That really like blows my mind.
I just like how long it lasts when you've got a pot of ink.
Yeah, well, that too. I mean, you've had that. Oh God, how long have you had that Winsor Newton one?
I've finished one off before. I was really proud that I managed to do that.
Well, then that means you've had the one you're using now at least a year, I think. I think you were using this one last year too.
It's been a while since I've done anything with dip inks.
Like, I want to know what you guys think as well. I mean, do you use dip inks? I mean, not just in Inktober, which obviously this is, but do you use them throughout the year? Because Steph does occasionally, but what do you guys do?
I haven't used them for a good like year or so, probably since like my dad died.
Oh. Flipping heck.
Well, no, it's okay. I'm not going to get sad.
That's okay. A good reason to stop doing a lot of things, not just using your dip pen, but okay.
I think it's because my granddad was the one in the family who was really into using like dipping.
Well, we did a video with his
we've done a sketchbook tour of his.
Mm-hmm. I love those glasses. Your style, I think, is like developing and changing again right now.
It's not intentional.
No. Well, a lot of the time when people's styles do change, it tends not to be. But like, I think at the minute it's going through like a change in like the faces and stuff, and I think it's really cute. I really like the direction.
You like me?
Well, that too. So you read this story, right, about a ghost. Was it like in a graveyard? Like, where did the ghost come from?
It was on a boat.
Oh, a boat ghost.
Yeah, it really freaked me out.
You can't run away if you're on a boat, dear. Did the ghost kill everyone, or did it just...
It killed a few people, yeah. But they don't even know for sure if it actually was a ghost. It might have actually been like a sea monster.
Just a guy in a sheet. Ooh. I really love that though. I like how you've drawn the ghost coming out of the book that you're reading. I think that's a pretty cute idea.
That's what it felt like when I was reading it last night.
Was the story coming to life?
I was just thinking it, with the old one, because it's been such a long time since I've had a new dip pen,
yeah.
You ran it under like a lighter for me to help the ink flow a bit.
Oh yeah.
I think that might be something that I need to do with it, but...
We haven't got any lighter fluid. This is a weird conversation.
We don't smoke, so I guess that's a good reason not to.
So, I mean, obviously you've drawn this ghost in your own style, in your own way. Did the book that you read describe it, or were you sort of left to your own imagination with it?
So in short, it was a much older story. It might have even been from like the Victorian times or something.
Oh.
But the story went something or other along the lines of that there was a bunch of people like on this boat, and there was this certain room where everyone who'd like slept in it went missing, or they were like thrown overboard or something, but no one could find them after they'd been asleep like in this room.
This room, okay.
And the pothole would be open after someone had been in it.
Oh.
There was this guy who was like really determined that he wanted to stay in it, and he was going to get to like the bottom of like what it was that was going on in there. No one else was really keen on going in there with him.
Neither would I, but like, yeah, you solved the mystery, Scooby-Doo. I'll stay out here.
Well, there was some guy that he didn't like who ended up coming on the ship. He stayed in the same room as him. The other guy ended up vanishing. I think he's like dead or whatever.
He could have like gone to the bathroom. Oh no, he's dead.
That's basically what keeps happening in this room. And this guy, he's kind of excited that this guy's dead because he's now got the room to himself.
Oh my god!
And he doesn't believe in ghosts. It was a really fancy one. It was like one of the biggest rooms on the boat. He was told that he can either go and share with someone else,
okay,
or he can have like this really fancy room to himself, but like a ghost lives there and it might kill him. So he was like, okay, I'll go with that option.
Well, in this economy, it's quite a good trade-off.
And when he was in there by himself, he kept waking up to like a cold chill, and the pothole kept opening up.
Oh, if his window's open, of course
it's like this really, really strong thing that's like been bolted down by like sailors, and they don't understand how it keeps like opening up.
Ghost sailors.
So he tries to like stay awake all night watching over like this pothole, but like whenever he turns his back and looks around, it's open. But you don't hear it open or anything. Anyway, long story short, after about like the 4th night of staying in this room, because he's so determined that he wants to figure out what it is that's in there, he gets the captain of the ship on with him, and they both spend the whole night watching over. And their torch like ends up going out, so they can't properly see what's going on.
Oh no.
They managed to somehow get a glimpse of what it is that's come through like this window, because like some sort of monster's come in through the porthole.
Okay.
And it's some kind of like slimy, rotten, and it smells like old seaweed, and its skin's like hanging off.
Is it not just a walrus? It sounds a bit like a walrus.
Well, you never know, it was like the 1800s or something. So.
18th century walrus. They were very smelly and saggy back then.
It could have been a Bratz doll for all we know.
Shiver me timbers, it's a Bratz doll. Well, you reviewers sold it to me. It sounds very interesting, man.
Are you scared now?
No, I think it's. I just think it's a walrus.
Just no.
Or like a squid, or maybe it's Moby Dick. He was a whale, but I bet he could go in there if he wanted to.
Oh, I always think he's the man who wrote classic literature.
No, that was the man that wrote Moby Dick.
What was he called? Moby Man. I'm just having a right wrestle with trying to get the...
I think it's honestly because we didn't do the light thing, and that was my mistake. I should have remembered.
No, my mistake. I'm the inking person.
You're my inking queen. I think it's getting there. I mean, like you said, we have to bear in mind that it's new as well, and with nibs and things.
And it's been a long time since I've done anything like this.
Mm-hmm. Are you going to attempt to do every single day? Or are you going to check in with yourself every so often and be like, I feel like doing an Inktober picture today?
The most important thing to me is that I look out for like my own well-being, because there was a time in the past where I was thinking like, oh yeah, I might do like every day of Inktober, and then my dad died, and that was
Yeah, literally it was just before the start.
Yeah, it was like a week before Inktober started. You never know what life's gonna throw at you, and I never want to say that like some silly like art challenge is more important to me than like
it's not,
my own well-being.
No art challenges, guys. Echoing what you said in the previous video, be kind to yourself. Sometimes you might not be feeling it, and that's okay, you know.
Well, because I also struggle with like OCD, I can struggle with art challenges. Like in the past, for example, I'd never miss a single Inktober day. It did not matter whether my leg was hanging off that day and my family were all screaming in the volcano. I would get Inktober done no matter what.
And you're like, I just need to finish this line.
And I've realised how ridiculous that is now. It took a lot of therapy and a lot of time to get there.
Remember guys, if you do an Inktober, you do have the power to save someone from a volcano if you want to. That is your choice. No, I love the lines. I could sit here and like gush about your lines all day.
It's my favourite kind of way of inking, but I guess it's just like, you know when you know that someone that you liked used to do it, and it was like a relative with my granddad.
Do you have like a special connection with it, do you think?
Yeah, it just feels really like mindful and nice to...
Well, a really cool thing about dip pens as well, guys, which, you know, people who may use them have noticed as well, is that due to the nature of it, and you have to dip them in, it does force you to slow down as well. Like, even if you want to draw really quickly, this forces you to be like, nope.
Yeah, and you've got to be sort of careful with like where you position in your hand while you're doing this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so like, is the ghost like illuminating her? I say her, it's you. Is the ghost illuminating you? Eliminating? Illuminating? Oh my god.
I don't want to be eliminated. This might come as a surprise.
That's a really nice wash you've got going on. Yeah, it kind of looks like it's coming from the book as well now, like the book's glowing.
Yeah, that's what I was sort of trying to capture.
I'm seeing it.
I'll get some more of this ink on here. The thing with ink is that you can't see how far down it is, so I can never tell when I'm... Oh wait, yeah, there it is. That's definitely it. I was thinking about maybe colouring in the jumper in black because I'm wearing like a black jumper at the moment. Or do I make the background all black?
I mean, bear in mind he's sort of making you glow, so maybe doing your top would be the better option. Or doing the background better. I don't know. I am bad at advice.
When in doubt, I always say go with a pencil first. Because then you can sort of visualise what you're going to do.
Oh, okay, that's a good idea, yeah.
Inktober advice with Steph.
You already did like an entire video on advice. You giving out more?
More advice with Steph. Okay, I've had an idea what I can do. And there's no going back now because I'm having so much fun just using tons of ink supplies as well for my beret.
Just slap a bit of wash on that beret.
I mean, I do normally go over it because I did it with like yellow yesterday. It can be a fully ink piece. Or I could lightly go over it with some yellowish ink or something. I don't know, I'll figure it out as I go along. I've been careful not to put my hand in like where the ink is as well.
Hey, in your own tips video you said you work top left to top right, and you haven't followed that.
Well, do as I say, not as I do. We all know Adam follows the rules all the time.
The difference with me is that I know there are rules, but I choose not to listen to them.
No, you listen to them, but then you just don't do anything with them.
I think it's because I weren't listening. I'm sorry.
I wonder how many videos there are where like Adam ignores the rules.
Oh, God,
we need a playlist for that.
that Adam forgets the rules play. Jesus Christ, it'd be like every video.
Every video on the channel. Ooh, I'm loving all like the dry brush effects I was getting with the the brush pen down here.
You know, you've actually managed to get like, because of your cross hatching and what you're doing now, there's so many like different like effects and textures in this too.
That's what I'm loving about it right now.
It's really good. Okay guys, check out this spooky dooky number. I really love how this has come out then. Why did I think reading ghost stories before bed was a good idea? That literally sounds like the start of a Goosebumps book. That's amazing. Well, don't forget to like and subscribe, guys, so we can see you next time for another Doodle Date.
Do that!